channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. As you could tell by the title of this video, today we're going to do Libra Rising. Super excited. I really love Libra Risings. This is one of my favorite. So yeah. So before we get into the actual video, before we actually talk about Libra, I want to talk a little bit about what the rising sign is. Rising sign is the sign that's in the first house of your birth chart. So when you look at your birth chart, there's 12 houses, and your first house is your rising sign. So your rising sign is going to represent all things having to do with your first. So that means like your first couple of years, your first impression. Whatever sign your first house is in leads the way for the rest of your chart. So the rest of the signs are going to fall into a certain house because of the position of your rising sign. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so in this video I'm going to go over the first house, 4th house, 7th house, and the 10th house. And these houses are called angular houses. So our rising sign also is about our first impressions and just our natural aura that we give off. So like our instincts. Libra rising, you're very charming. This is the main trait that I think is most prominent with Libra rising. It's the charm that oozes out of your skin. And you guys just are able to charm anyone no matter what. I think it's just your smile too. You guys have a really nice smile. And you guys are very you guys are able to talk about any topic and relate to that topic. Very thoughtful people, very, very thoughtful. I experienced something recently actually during the holiday season, and this person who has a Libra rising was so focused on just making sure that everyone had their gift and making sure that everyone was comfortable, everyone was happy, you know, that they really thought out their gift process. And it kind of blew my mind because me, again, I have Aries, a lot of Aries in me. So I just feel like a lot of times I don't even have time to think about other people. Like, I'm like, oh my God, you know, instead of just getting someone a gift, you guys think about it. Like, you guys will really think about what to get them. Will they like this? You know, like, you guys listen to what people like, people's interests, which I love. So and I think that's the best thing, to have people relate to you, have people like you, is hearing people's interests. Because if you're listening to what people like, that is how to win people over. So you guys are really good at just winning people over. First impressions for you guys are so great. Like, you guys are really good at first impressions because you guys know what to put, like what your best face is. So with Libra rising, the story of your life is going to be of one of connecting and relating to other people. And as well, you have a lot of opportunity for admiration of other people. So getting love, receiving love from other people. With this placement, personally, I do feel like there is a big sense of having to be in a relationship just for the heck of it. Like, literally just because you feel like you need to be in a relationship. You can be more in love with the idea of being in love a lot, especially when you're younger. But overall, I think that it's a lot of times you guys can have a hard time being alone. So yeah, the first house, aka our rising sign, is our most personal house. Libra here, there may be a feeling of always having to surround yourself with love, or again, you may be in love with the idea of being in love. So you may just find yourself in a lot of different relationships just because you just love like that rush. So let's talk about a little bit about physical appearance. So the first house does rule over our physical appearance, our body. It's really, really rare to find a Libra rising that is not attractive. I think that all Libra risings have a very, very attractive feature to them. And you look at the human face, the thing that's appealing to the human eye is symmetry. So when your face is like perfectly symmetrical, like, I also think it's really rare to find a Libra rising that doesn't take care of themselves in one way or another. I don't think that this has to be like something that lasts hours, but I do think that Libras take care of themselves quite well. I think that they take care of their hair, they have hair, you know, they'll groom their face, they will be in the mirror making sure that they look their best. Oh, yeah, I mean, this could obviously be exaggerated where someone's in the mirror forever trying to make sure that they look perfect, but I think that all Libra risings kind of establish like a nice routine for them to make themselves look good. Like, oh, you know, maybe just, you know, put a little bit of cream on your face, or like, you know, just plucking your eyebrows, whatever like that routine is. Okay guys, so let's move on to the fourth house. So your fourth house is in Capricorn. Fourth house is all about our family. It's our household growing up, everything having to do with our come up upbringing, and it's also the role that we play in our family. So with the fourth house in Capricorn, Capricorn is all about status and reputation, responsibility, all about like building ourselves up in order to reach that mountain, that top peak. And the fourth house having to be the role that you play. A lot of you guys are actually really responsible at home. So in your private home, around your family, you know, you are actually really responsible, and you are that person that is almost like the father figure. So Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So wherever we see Capricorn in our chart is where we can get insight on our father and the relationship with our father. So you're taking on like this Capricorn archetype in your home life. With Capricorn here, you can do a lot of chores around the house. You may work at a very young age in order to support your family or help your family out. Or overall, you're just like that emotional rock for your family. A lot of Libra risings that don't have fathers, that their father walked out of their life very young, so they had to take on a lot of responsibility at home already, and you took on this role of like just being there for your family. Your family life really showed you how to work hard. And if your father was in your life, then this can manifest in a way that your father was very, very strict, or just really embedded good work ethic into you, or just always just reminded you about responsibility, and how important it is to work hard for what you want. So from a very young age, you were engraved with good work ethic. So with Capricorn here, you could have had a family that was very, very aware of their status in society. Here it was like a lot of caring of how other people viewed you, like the public eye, how other people. So this is why, like Libra risings, you guys always want to look your best. It's because you were conditioned to this. I see this a lot with Libra risings, that your mom and dad are together but they're not in love. It's just all about keeping appearances and just keeping it up, keep making it seem like, you know, everything is okay when everything is not. Your family can care a lot about what other people think about them. Like, oh my gosh, no, I can't go outside looking like this, or you look like this, you can't look, you know, what are you wearing? You can't go outside like this. Okay guys, so let's move on to the seventh house, which is the house of relationships. So this house has everything to do with connecting with other people. It's all about other people, and how we connect to other people, how we influence other people, how we treat other people, how other people influence us. And this is also the house that tells us what type of people we attract into our life. So with the seventh house, so with your seventh house is in Aries, and with Aries, this means that you may attract a lot of people that are Aries-like, have a lot of Aries placement, heavy Aries. So they may be an Aries moon, or Aries sun, or Aries ascendant, or they may have an angular Mars. Be very, very bold, independent, all about themselves. It's about me first. It's the first sign of the zodiac. Aries is the baby, and it's very impatient sign. It's the most impatient. So you may, but most of all, Aries is all about the self. So you're going to encounter a lot of people that are all about themselves, pretty much. And Libra is a very people-oriented sign. It's about the other people. It can be exhausting being a Libra because you're constantly being worried about other people. It's always about other people's dramas, other people's things. You may find your sense of self in other people. So you may always feel like you need to be in a relationship, or you can't be alone, or you need somebody to hang out with, or you're just constantly fixated on just finding someone to be with. Again, being focused on other people can really have us lose our sense of self and our individuality. And being around this type of energy, Aries energy, Mars energy, is really going to teach you how to be more about you. They're going to teach you how to be more assertive and how to be more self-reliant and not care about other people, because that wastes a lot of time and that is stressful and that is draining. And we need to take more time to consider ourselves and what we're doing for us, and how sometimes it's okay to be selfish. Sometimes you need to be selfish in order for your own good. So Aries people, they have no problem being selfish. So the 7th house is also about how our relationships form. So with Aries here, Aries is the most quickest sign. It's super quick, it's impatient. So this is why Libras, they don't have any problem finding new interest, love interest, or new friendships or anything like that, because their relationships, because the 7th house is in Aries, the relationships form quick. Well, yeah, overall with the 7th house in Aries, you're gonna meet a lot of people that are entrepreneur people who are self-starters. Okay, so let's talk about the 10th house, and the 10th house is all about our career. It's about our status in society, how we build ourselves up in order to reach our empire, our public image, and just overall like what we're working for in life, like what we're working towards in life. So for Libra rising, you guys have the 10th house in Cancer. Cancer is one of the most sensitive signs of the zodiac. It's definitely all about emotions and about being vulnerable and family. I think one of the main themes that I've seen for this rising sign is to use your career as an emotional outlet. So whatever your profession is, anything that has to do with letting out your emotions and being vulnerable is going to be more appealing to you. So a lot of you guys are really good at acting. I know acting, and singing, writing, anything that I feel like words, like things that have to do with words and expressing your feelings, expressing your emotions, is going to be very appealing to this particular placement. I also think a job that is about nurturing and caring for other people. Cancer is the most sensitive and caring sign of the zodiac. It's all about just nurturing and giving support to someone else. So either working with children or working with animals. So yeah, maybe you will work with animals, or maybe you work with kids, or maybe you will work with elderly too. Like anything that requires more gentleness, I think is something that appeals to. So in your career or wherever you work, you're definitely going to be more of a caregiver and someone who is about other people and making other people feel comfortable. At work, you kind of take on like this motherly role, and it's funny because in your family you take on like this fatherly role of like being responsible and doing everything for everyone else, and then in your career it's kind of like the same thing, but it's more nurturing, it's more sensitive. Another big thing for this placement, vulnerability, because it's so hard for us, because of our 4th house in Capricorn, to be sensitive. It's so hard for us to sometimes be real and deal with our emotions, because in our private life we have to be responsible and we have to toughen up and just, you know, do the things that we have to do. We don't have time to, you know, get into all of our emotions and, you know, be sensitive all the time. So Cancer is the most family-oriented sign of all of the zodiac, and so you may work with your family. So you may either have a business, maybe you employ, you know, people in your family. You may employ your son, your daughter. You know, you may employ your cousins, your mom, or whatever, or you're employed by your mom, you're employed by your dad, or you're employed by someone in your family, or maybe you guys are all artists or something like that, and you guys you know, manage each other. So yeah guys, that is pretty much it. I think the 10th house in Cancer is really about being vulnerable. I think that regardless of what you do in your career, people are really going to appreciate just your real raw emotions. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you guys really enjoyed and learned something from this video. Make sure you comment down below if you have any questions, and make sure you subscribe for more. So thank you guys, bye.